Hello, hello, and welcome to a very special episode of the podcast. Last week I had the honor, the pleasure, nay, the grandeur, doesn't make sense, of speaking at my daughter's middle school. And what was so completely shocking to me, well, so many things were so completely shocking to me. I have never spoken to the youths in that capacity. I was the assembly, just me, back to back, and it was for their Hope Week, which is their suicide prevention week. And I was so honored, and what shocked me was that my 8th grade daughter was okay with me doing the assembly. Not only was she okay with me doing the assembly, her and 3 of her friends wore my shark costumes that I have from my dance parties in years gone by, and they were my participation sharks. I also checked my son out of 6th grade because he brings the party wherever he goes. And I was like, if these 8th grade girls panic, I am going to need a hype man. And my son Rad is the perfect hype man. And I had a king crab costume that he had worn for Halloween, so he was comfortable in it. So I have had so many people, and by so many people, I mean my in-laws, my sister, ask me what I spoke to the middle schoolers about. And what I spoke to the middle schoolers about is often what I speak about. What is essentially my book, this podcast, and all the work I do is affirming the fact that you are already awesome. There's nothing you need to do, earn, prove, change to be worthy of love, of help, of support, of just accepting yourself. Now, let's get into the actual keynote because I'm going to start going off on arguments. So if you are listening to this, please know I'm doing a special YouTube version of this where I am doing the keynote with the slideshows. They're just on my laptop here. This was as technical as I could get. And I'm standing up, I'm holding the microphone like I would be if I was doing a keynote. And the only difference is there are not 600 12 to 14-year-olds screaming and attacking sharks for candy and all the swag that I brought to the students. So let's get started. I started the assembly by playing What You Know About Me, and I was just walking around on the stage, just kind of doing some of this, dancing, getting low, just waiting for the kids to come in. And mind you, I am used to ballrooms of thousands, hundreds of people staring at me, expecting me to be the dancing monkey, the entertainment, to give them everything. These kids, they freaking walk in, and the only problem that we have is that my energy, my participation sharks, my dancing crab, my 2 6-foot shark heads I brought in, they're like made out of paper. That much energy combined, it was explosive. Okay, wait, I'm timing myself. Oh my gosh, I've preambled for so long. Okay, let's get into it. Hello, my name is Allison, and I am so freaking excited to have the pleasure and honor of speaking to you today. And my message is simple. My message is this: we need you. Say it with me now. We need you. The other thing that's the best about middle schoolers is how they participate. Now, I'm going to break this to you, and maybe you've already been able to tell, but just by spending a few minutes with me, I am not sane. I've never pretended to be sane. I'm not going to pretend to be sane. In fact, I prefer speaking to you and not adults, because adults tend to just be like so overwhelmed by my energy and personality, they don't know what to do with me. But I feel like you guys, I don't know, take it, leave it, do whatever you want with it. I'm not sane, but I do know this: I am awesome. And so are you. And that is the message that I have been sharing and working on over the years. Okay, so why did your teachers let this woman come and speak to you? Here's a little bit about me. I've had a podcast that's been successful in the top 100. I do business therapy and coaching. This is a flex. One time I spoke to the headquarters of Pinterest, and Ben, the founder of Pinterest, I got him to dance on stage. I know. I teach branding workshops. I've thrown dance parties. Have any of your moms gone? Yeah, okay, just a couple. Ask your moms. Your mom used to love me. And basically, my podcast, I took it on tour with Alaska Airlines. I'll dress up as an airplane if I need to. I've sold swag and I have a family. Maybe you might recognize this one right here. This is our most terrifying one. That's my daughter, Fiona. And my podcast is called Awesome With Alison. And here's what I know. Everyone is not okay. Can I get a yes if you feel this? Yes. Everyone is not okay. And that makes me feel a little bit like Amy Poehler on Mondays. And this might have been why the middle schoolers said I was millennial coded. I'm not even offended by that, okay? Everyone is not okay. No matter how they're presenting, no matter how they're looking, we've all got our stuff, but everyone matters. Can I get a yes? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to take your hands and I want you to rub them together. If you're listening at home, I want you to do this too. And you're going to take your hands and you're going to rub them together. Okay, everybody take a deep breath. Excellent. Okay, we're going to rub them like we're starting a fire. I want to hear just hands. Clapping means we're not hearing hands. Pretty unruly. Okay, rub, 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 rub. Close your eyes. Try to center in on yourself. I know it's hard. And when I say stop, you're going to hold your hands about 6 inches apart. Stop. Now, if you're quiet and if you're paying attention, you can feel that energy that you have created with your 2 hands. And I love to do that exercise. I love to remind you how powerful you are with these 2 hands. I love to remind you what a creator you are, what your potential is with just these 2 hands. Everyone matters. And because everyone matters, we need you. But we don't just need you, we need everyone. So the other day I was coming home from Palm Springs and there was this mom with a baby. Oh, and I get so like about the babies. And the mom was loving on this cute baby and the grandma was with her. And she was so proud of her grandbaby and she was loving on the cute baby. And I was trying to get the baby's attention like a creeper. And another person over there is trying to get the baby's attention. And here's my question. So I have this picture here of these little baby raccoons, and maybe these baby raccoons have a mama or a papa or an uncle. Maybe they've got a weird creepy aunt like me with a magic ball. Maybe they've got a grumpy old grandpa, and all these people love the raccoon. All these people, all these little raccoons like this baby have all these people. Maybe they've got some friends at school. Maybe they have, again, like that weird cousin with it's holding the shut up, I have the talking stick. So for those of you listening, there's pictures of raccoons and possums and all sorts of things. And now what I'm going to do is, because if you can't see this visually, is I start taking them away one by one. And I ask, but if that baby, let's say this baby raccoon is in the forest and nobody's giving it attention, and nobody notices it's sad, and nobody notices that it's hurt, and people don't want to be friends, does that baby, whether your heart reaches out more to a baby or the baby raccoon, still have value? And the answer is, of course, even though you might want to be snarky and say no, but you matter. Even if other people aren't validating that, even if you can't feel it right now, even if there are people in your home, there are people at school, there are people in your life who are treating you like you don't matter, you matter. And because you matter, we need you. We need all of you. We need the truest, most confident, most successful, most you version of you. So how are we going to do that? You can make a difference. You can make a difference just by being you, okay? And here's the 3 things we're gonna cover. Number 1, we need all of you. Number 2, you can't give what you don't have. And number 3, yep, only you can do it. You are the only one who can do this job. So tool number 1, you get to be all of you. You get to be both, and so do I. So just like the moon has phases, when we see that dark side of the moon, it's still the moon. Here's the thing that we don't let each other do is grow and change and be different. And I feel this way as an adult, so I know you guys feel this. Give me a yes if you feel like you're in a bad mood or you don't think you look cute, that you don't want to show up. Can you give me a yes? Okay, we understand what it's like to not want to show up. I don't like showing up unless I'm I mean, I get that this is like a crazy front I'm putting forward, but I still have a way that I like to show up. It's okay that you're crappy. I love that about you. And I wanted to share something with you guys. So when I did the presentation, I sat crisscross applesauce in the middle of the stage. Meanwhile, you know, we've had sharks throwing out candy, lots of people screaming. It's been so much fun. And this is when I want to bring it in and I share that in 2017, I was having the absolute best year, I thought, of my life. I was running, I was fit, I had signed my first 6-figure contract for coaching. And I know that you guys know this doesn't matter. And I'm not trying to brag. But I had a lot of attention online. And I was very nervous for a meeting that I had. It was 5 days before Christmas. I went for a run, and on that run, I was hit by a car. Thank you guys for being so respectful as I share this with you, because it's still vulnerable for me to share. Can I tell you the hardest part about being hit by a car? It wasn't that it took me 3 to 4 years to recover. And it wasn't the pain from the broken vertebrae, my neck, my ribs. It was letting other people help me. And one of the hardest things was when my 80-year-old neighbor brought me a pizza for dinner. I hated letting people help me. I'm the person who shows up. I'm the person who wants to help. Do you guys want to hear something crazy? This is actually super crazy. My AirPods didn't fall out. I know, it was insane. And do you want to know what getting hit by a car feels like? Getting hit by a car. It feels exactly like that. But all of us have our own thing that feels like we were hit by a car. Can I get a yes if you understand? Yes? We all have our individual things. Our emotional stress is a tiger chase that never ends, and it is wearing on our brains and our bodies. Now, here's something that I wish I could have understood when I was your age. I wish I could have understood that stress that you feel, it's real. You are programmed and designed to fit in. You are programmed to be safe with the pack. And when you don't feel safe, when you don't feel included, when you don't feel okay to be yourself, it can be very scary. It can feel like a tiger chase, and that is like a tiger is chasing you, and that is because it is programmed in you. There's nothing wrong with you. But how do we manage that stress? How do we start to realize that even if we are in this bruised and broken state, you are still worthy of love? We need all of you. We need the smelly parts of you, the stinky parts of you, the loud parts of you, the rowdy parts of you, the disobedient parts of you, the obedient, the helpful, the kind, the nurturing. We need it all. Often I think to myself, why does everybody hate me? Can I get a yes? If any of you have ever felt this way, why does everybody hate me? And I feel like George Bluth coming home at the end of the day, slumping to the ground. And here's what I want to share with you guys. And this is something adults have a hard time realizing. But if you are able to take this into your life, it will blow your mind. Everyone is doing the best they can. I operate this way. I really believe that everyone is doing the best they can, but there are some caveats, if you will. They are doing the best they can with the information they have access to. All of us have a different lived experience, and it's easy when we are in a similar city or town or even look the same to start to think that other people are having the same experience as us. But I know there are some of you out there today who have parents at home who are sick, who have siblings who are sick, who have hard things happening at home, who have things going on you don't feel like you can talk to people about. We don't know what's going on in each other's lives. People are doing the best they can with their lived experience. Okay, so this is when I ask middle schoolers. I know, this is crazy. I go, how many 12-year-olds are there? 13, 14, okay. And then I say, guess how old I am. And okay, this is my podcast, so if you have your middle schooler listen to this, I'm sorry. But one kid in the second assembly shouted 69, and I had to not respond to that. I had to not heckle that. I am a mature adult. But I was so happy. Okay, so then I ask, okay, so if I'm 41, thank you for saying I'm 25. If I'm 41, how many times have I had some experiences in around, like how many lifetimes of yours? It's like maybe 3.5, whatever it is. It's not that I'm smarter. I'm not smarter than you. I don't know more than you. I don't have all the answers. But when we are thinking about asking for help, or we are looking to other people to kind of validate us, check your source. Keep this in mind. You want to listen to some idiot 13-year-old who's only been around this planet for those 13 years like you? Or maybe you want to check your source and check in with someone who's had a little bit more life experience. I wish that I had thought that through before. And everyone is doing the best they can with their personal capacity. So in middle school, I was a pretty, follow the rules girl. And I remember in 8th grade, this girl came to school drunk. And I was, whoa, I didn't even know what drunk was in that capacity. And I wish that I had understood. I really wish that I had understood. When she came into her first period, threw up on the desk, put her arms around the throw up, and put her face in it to cover it up. I wish that I had understood that that did not mean she was rebellious or naughty or anything like that. It meant that there must be something real serious going on at home. Can I get a yes if you understand that? Yes. Everyone is doing the best they can, and sometimes our best doesn't look very cute, which is why we give ourselves grace, we give ourselves forgiveness, and we give that to others as well. And I will tell you why. And this is something that your parents are gonna argue with me about. And I know because I've talked to thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and they still can't get this through their heads. So you are better off than all of them if you can get this lesson, and it is this: you can't give what you don't have. Participation sharks, I need you to go get me some volunteers. And then my participation sharks would go and grab 4 students and bring them up on stage. And I had big stacks of my stickers, which are now littering the entire middle school, which I don't regret. Would I repeat it? I don't know. We'll see. So I would hand each kid on stage a stack of like 20 or 30 sticker sheets. And I would say, hey, this is so-and-so, everyone cheer. Will you go give these stickers out? Now, this is when the mayhem would break loose, and, I'm glad nobody got like a bloody nose. The enthusiasm for these stickers, I just was giggling with glee. And I would hand a stack of stickers to each kid except for one. And I'd say, okay, go hand out the stickers. And then when they would come back, I'd say, what was it like handing out stickers? And some kids were like, it was stressful. Everybody's yelling at me. And other kids were like, I liked the power, right? And I would whisper to the kid that I didn't give any stickers to, just walk around and come back. I'd say, hey, Collier. I grabbed my son's friend, Collier. Why didn't you give the kids stickers? He's like, I didn't have any. I'm like, Collier, I gave you very simple instructions. I said, stickers, give to people. Why didn't you give them stickers? You can't give what you don't have. You can't be a good friend unless you are a good friend to yourself. What does it mean to be a good friend to yourself? You listen to yourself. You're compassionate with yourself. You're understanding. You can't give more love, more forgiveness, more compassion. And why adults hate when I say this is they're like, no, I can love my child more than I love myself. But I will tell you as a mother, and I am saying this now on the podcast because I know I have more mothers here, you can't give more forgiveness to your children and acceptance than you give to yourself. And you're going to start to notice it when your kids hit those ages that trigger you, that make you feel a certain way, and you're going to start nitpicking at them, and you're going to be like, holy crap, this is crazy. You can't be a good friend to others unless you're a good friend to yourself. So I am going to share with you guys, actually, before I get to this, I'm going to share with you, you can see here I have 2 giant shark heads. And I'm going to tell you why I have these shark heads and why I have all the sharks. Remember how I told you I got hit by a car? I know. That was terrible. I was in bed. It was 5 days before Christmas. But you want to know what happened? Yeah, listen up. You want to know what happened 2 days after I was hit by a car? A girl who had taken a picture with me at a conference, and we'd had some situations. She posted that picture of us, and used all of the attention. And that was really weird. It was really weird to get hit by a car and watch my followers go up. It was very, very weird. And then not only, we won't get sidetracked, but back to it. A woman used that attention and a picture of us to post a picture saying why I was a terrible person. And all of the things that were awful about me and what a two-faced person I was and all these different things 2 days after I was hit by a car. Do you want to know what it felt like? Like I was hit by a car again. That's what it felt like. And it was so hurtful and so upsetting. I could not stop thinking about it. I could not get over it. I thought I had treated her with kindness. She was mad at me. I had cried to her and I didn't share this much with the kids, but all of this to say, I could not get over the mean things she said and all of the mean things that people wanted to chime in about me. And then I had an idea. And my idea was this: every time her face, those mean words, that post, which she later deleted, would come into my mind, I would bring out this ginormous, great white shark. And that shark would devour her and those thoughts. Now, this is an actual thing. It's redirection, but this is what I learned. So we're not going to feed people to real sharks. I know, I wish we could, but we can't. No, we don't want to do that. But we can feed those negative thoughts, those judgments, we can feed them to the sharks. But then what you've got to do is replace them. Now, I'm going to send my participation sharks out. Those of you listening at home, pretend you're going to get candy for this. The only way you're going to get candy is if I hear you saying some of these affirmations with me. And the reason I'm going to share these affirmations with you is maybe there will be one there that when you have a thought that you want to delete, stomp, give to Godzilla, feed to a shark, have it burst away, you need to replace it with something else. It's not that we don't feel the feelings. It's not that we're not sad and hurt. But when our brain keeps looping, affirmations can help us. So let's say these together. I'm uniquely qualified to live my life. Aside, guys, to hear 600 teens and tweens scream this at me, it was one of the best moments of my life. It was the coolest thing. I'm so obsessed with it. Okay, I get to show up as I am right now. Right now. I don't have to figure anything out. I'm being guided and supported. My true self is limitless. And then I had them say them all one more time. And tool number 3, and the reason we need you, because remember, we need you. We need all of you. You can't give what you don't have. And you are the only person who can do the job. Is that not mind-blowing? That in this world, you are the only person who can show up as you. And you want to hear something so relieving and crazy? You can't do it incorrectly. You can't be you incorrectly. This is me playing the flute as a middle schooler. And so often when I'm working with people who do businesses, or I know this is such a big thing in middle school, so-and-so is already good at that, so-and-so is already better than that. I never made first chair in flute. I never was anything but at the bottom. I ran out of a concert crying one time. You know, and if Lizzo had been intimidated by my flute playing skills, we would not have the fire flute playing. There's a meme of Lizzo playing the flute and it's on fire right now, right? Only you can be you. I'm the flute player. I asked if there were any flautists. Shout out to the flautist. Only you can be you. And you get to reinvent things and do them exactly the way that you want to do them. So I want everybody to say this with me. Only you can be you. And you are already as awesome as you need to be. We're going to say it one more time on the count of 3. And I want to hear how loud you can say this. 1, 2, 3. Only you can be you. And you are already as awesome as you need to be. Why can't everybody be more like me? Okay, now what I'm going to have you do is stand up. We turn on the Macarena. And then everybody does the Macarena. Like this is literally 600 kids stand up and they all do the Macarena. Okay. And then I asked them, okay, which of you love the Macarena? And there's, some polite cheers. I'm like, how many of you think it is so lame, gross, ew, that I just had you do the Macarena? Ew. And then I go, guess what, suckers? How you feel about the Macarena means nothing about me, Allison. How your friends feel about your clothes, how your classmates feel about your opinions, the music you listen to, the family you come from, what you're into. If you can remember this, it means how they feel means nothing about you. Everyone's doing the best they can. Only you can be you. And if you remember that everybody else, we're kind of all not okay, right? We're all just doing what we can do. And what judgment is judgment is separation. And we do that to keep ourselves safe. But judgment is, I am this way, you are this way. Let us separate so I can understand. But every time you judge, and keep this in mind, this is kind of an abstract concept, but why do we judge some people so harshly? And you bet your butt some middle schoolers got this and shouted it out at me because you don't like those things about yourself. They're not stupid. You can't talk to them like they're stupid. They get stuff, right? How you feel about the Macarena, how you feel about my outfit, how you feel about my keynote, how you feel about how I showed up today, it means nothing about you. But how I show up for myself, how I decide I want to come into this world means everything about me to me. People who genuinely like and are interested in others tend to be more popular because they foster positive relationships and create a sense of connection and belonging. And I kind of had to skip through the end for time, but I offered them these pieces of advice when I had the time in the first assembly, and it was, how can you do this, right? Like, how can you genuinely like other people? Well, number one, you can't give what you don't have. So if you work on liking yourself, if you work on accepting yourself, if you work on forgiving yourself, that's a great way to start. And also, listen like your life depends on it. When somebody is talking to you and your brain starts racing, I do that too. Start to think the information this person has could change my life. And it really will change the way you listen to people. Ask questions. Just ask, what electives are you taking? That's a cool name. I've never heard. How do you spell it? When you ask people questions, you give them an opportunity to connect. I know that it can be scary, but think of how powerful you'll be if you're the one who can do it. And number 3, take a break. If you feel like you just keep messing up, if you feel like nothing is going right, you need to take a step back. Maybe a new perspective. Go out in nature. Hang out with some new people. Try a new experience. Take a break from what you're used to. And why do we do this? Why do we do this? Why do we do this? For the world is in a bad state and will become worse still unless each of us does their best. That's from Viktor Frankl, a concentration camp survivor. And then what Maya Angelou says, you do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, you do better. And I hope that today you have learned something that can help you feel better so that you can show up more as you, because we need you. We need all of you. We need you. We need you. And say it with me now. Only you can be you. And you are already as awesome as you need to be. Thank you so much for having me today. Thanks so much for watching. You should totally listen to the podcast. There's lots of fun stuff. And I've got hundreds of past episodes. So yeah, love ya.